Have you ever wondered what it would take to grow something so special that chefs would practically write blank checks for it? Most people imagine profitable farming as rows of corn or soybeans. But the culinary world craves rare flavors, exotic aromatics, and ingredients that transform a dish into an experience. That hunger creates opportunities for farmers who are willing to venture beyond conventional crops. Some of the plants on this list command prices that sound like typos, and others deliver steady income year after year because they're perennial or self-seed freely. In every case, there is more demand from high-end kitchens than supply. Profits vary by location and market demand, so use real numbers from your area before diving in. Why do chefs pay so much for certain ingredients? Restaurants don't want commodities. They want something diners can't find at the grocery store. Many specialty crops require extraordinary labor, grow only in specific climates, or have a shelf life measured in hours. Those constraints keep supply low and prices high. Small growers who sell directly to chefs or specialty markets can earn much more per square foot than commodity farmers. Some operations combine multiple high-value crops on tiny plots, proving that creativity and niche products can outcompete acres of field crops. Number 1. Saffron. Crocus sativus produces 3 red stigmas per flower. It takes roughly 50,000 blossoms to yield a pound of saffron threads, and the flowers must be picked by hand at dawn. Retail prices range from $5,000 to $10,000 per pound. A well-managed acre can gross close to 6 figures. One Oregon family uses a 1/4 acre to grow saffron, selling directly to restaurants and online shops. They harvest for only a few weeks each fall, then dry and package threads for sale. The plant thrives in well-drained soil and needs little water, making it suitable for dry climates. Because saffron is harvested over a short period, labor must be timed precisely, often involving friends and family, to pick flowers at sunrise. Saffron also yields a byproduct. Petals can be dried for tea blends, creating an additional revenue stream. Plants take a couple of years to multiply before yields peak, but the returns are stunning for growers who find chefs seeking authentic saffron and who are willing to put in the handwork. Number 2. Wild simulated ginseng. American ginseng is a shade-loving root native to eastern forests. Rather than planting ginseng in open fields, growers scatter seeds in wooded areas and let them mature naturally. Mature roots fetch hundreds of dollars per pound, but they can take 5 to 10 years to reach marketable size. With careful stewardship, an acre of woodland ginseng can be worth tens of thousands. A grower in the Appalachian Mountains planted seeds on a shady hillside a decade ago and now harvests a portion of mature roots each fall while leaving younger plants to grow. His annual revenue hovers around $30,000 from less than an acre of understory. Poaching and disease are constant threats, so he monitors his woodland and uses organic fungicides. The shape and age of the roots also affect price. Older roots with wild-looking, gnarled bodies command a premium. If you have wooded land and patience, ginseng can become a long-term investment that quietly appreciates under the trees. Number 3. Lavender. This aromatic shrub isn't just ornamental. Its flowers are used for bouquets, teas, and essential oils. 1 acre can produce around 12,000 bouquets, and bundles commonly sell for about $10 a piece. Beyond fresh flowers, growers sell dried buds and distilled oil. A diversified farm in Oregon dedicates a ½ acre to lavender, harvesting flowers daily during summer and distilling part of the crop into oil for soaps and lotions. Lavender requires minimal irrigation and tolerates poor soils. Essential oil extracted from the blossoms commands $40 to $50 per ounce at retail, so even a few gallons of oil significantly boost farm income. Diversifying into bouquets, sachets, culinary blends, and bath products helps smooth out seasonal demand. Deer avoid it, which reduces fencing needs, and the plant can thrive for up to 20 years in the right climate. Number 4. Goji berries. Bright red goji berries are prized for their sweet tart flavor and reputation as a superfood. Organic dried berries sell for around $20 per pound, and well-managed plantings can yield several thousand pounds per acre. The bushes are hardy and drought-tolerant, though birds will test your resolve. Plants bear heavily by their second or third season. A couple in New Mexico grows goji on 2 acres using drip irrigation. They harvest fresh berries for smoothie bars and dry the rest in solar dehydrators. Their annual sales top $50,000. Goji berries can be eaten fresh, made into juice or wine, or sold dried to natural food stores. The market is growing as chefs experiment with goji in sauces, grain bowls, and desserts. Growers must protect the crop from birds and invest in netting or row covers to ensure high yields. Number 5. Microgreens. These tiny vegetable seedlings are harvested when they have just developed their first true leaves. Chefs love them for intense flavor and color. Premium microgreens like sorrel or shiso can sell for $20 per ounce or more, which translates to hundreds per pound. Common varieties such as basil or radish still fetch several dollars per ounce. Because microgreens grow quickly and can be cut multiple times, a small space can produce pounds of greens every week. A grower using 10 square feet of shelving can harvest about 20 pounds of microgreens per month and earn several $1,000s, especially if they focus on high-end varieties. One urban farm grows microgreens under LED lights and delivers weekly to sushi, bars, and tasting menu restaurants, earning over $3,000 per month. Reliable weekly deliveries, attractive packaging, and unusual flavors keep chefs coming back. Keep in mind that microgreens need good air circulation and sanitation to prevent mold and pests. Number 6. Oyster mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms grow rapidly on straw or sawdust. Fresh oysters typically sell for $10 to $20 per pound, and organic specimens fetch a bit more. A climate-controlled room packed with bags of substrate can yield several pounds per square foot each year. One couple converted their basement into a mushroom farm using straw bags inoculated with oyster spawn. Each month, they harvest hundreds of pounds of mushrooms, selling to restaurants and at farmers markets. Oyster mushrooms are ready for harvest in as little as 3 weeks and can produce multiple flushes from one bag. Varieties like blue oyster and pink oyster provide different colors and textures, appealing to chefs. They're a dependable source of year-round income for small growers, but maintaining humidity and preventing contamination require vigilance. Number 7. Shiitake mushrooms. Shiitakes have a meaty texture and deep flavor that commands high prices. Fresh shiitakes sell for more than $10 per pound, with organic mushrooms even higher. Logs inoculated with shiitake spawn fruit for 3 or 4 years. A grower in Vermont inoculates oak logs each spring and staggers them so that he can harvest weekly. His few hundred logs yield roughly 2,000 pounds of shiitakes annually and produce tens of thousands of dollars in revenue. Because shiitakes fruit outdoors in spring and fall, the farmer uses shade houses and rain covers to protect logs from extreme weather. Locally grown shiitakes are far superior to imported dried mushrooms, so chefs are willing to pay a premium for the flavor and mouthfeel. Number 8. Lion's mane mushrooms. This white, pom-pom-shaped fungus tastes like lobster and has medicinal properties, being studied for its potential nerve regenerative benefits. Lion's mane sells for $15 to $20 per pound or more. It prefers high humidity and careful handling, but the spores colonize sawdust blocks quickly and fruit within weeks. A farm in Washington state grows lion's mane in a converted shipping container, harvesting about 60 pounds each week. Because lion's mane bruises easily, they use soft liners in harvest bins and deliver within hours of picking. For growers who master the environment, lion's mane is a high-value specialty product with little competition, and chefs value its unique texture in vegan seafood dishes. Number 9. King oyster mushrooms. King oysters have thick, meaty stems that make excellent vegetarian steaks. They sell for $12 to $20 per pound and store well, giving farmers flexibility in harvest and delivery. They take a bit longer to grow than other oysters, but their density and texture win over chefs. One entrepreneur in Chicago grows king oysters in spare bedrooms using plastic shelving and humidifiers and sells out each week. Chefs slice the stems into scallops and braise or grill them like meat. Pairing king oysters with other mushroom varieties helps diversify revenue and ensures that the grower always has something to sell. Number 10. Morel mushrooms. Morels are highly sought after and nearly impossible to cultivate on a commercial scale. Fresh morels sell around $20 per pound, while dried morels cost many times that amount because they shrink so much. Prices jump to $30, $40, or even $60 per pound, depending on region and season. In some parts of the country, dried morels sell for $20 per ounce. A Michigan forager spends 3 weeks each April combing burn sites for black morels, sells fresh mushrooms to chefs, and dries the surplus in a dehydrator. His short season can bring in tens of thousands of dollars. For those able to cultivate morels under controlled conditions, year-round production could command premium prices, but the technology is still developing. Dried morels store for months and add an intense earthy flavor to sauces and soups. Number 11. Chanterelle mushrooms. These golden mushrooms have a fruity aroma and firm texture. Chanterelles are mostly harvested wild, so supply fluctuates. Retail prices average around $20 per pound and climb higher when demand is strong. In Oregon, a group of foragers formed a cooperative to collect chanterelles sustainably and sell them to Portland restaurants. Each picker collects dozens of pounds per day and earns a few $1,000s in just 2 weeks. Chanterelles must be cleaned carefully to remove needles and moss, and they spoil quickly if not cooled. Sustainable harvesting practices and good relationships with chefs help foragers command premium prices year after year. Number 12. Black trumpet mushrooms. Black trumpets are small, dark mushrooms with a smoky flavor that chefs adore in pastas and sauces. They're rarer than chanterelles and often sell for $20 to $30 per pound. They camouflage themselves among leaf litter, making them hard to find. Foragers in the Pacific Northwest collect them on mossy hillsides during late summer. Because supply is limited, dried black trumpets command high prices and hold their flavor well. Some chefs prefer them dried because the intense aroma persists even after long storage. Including black trumpets alongside other wild mushrooms can increase the diversity and value of a forager's offerings. Number 13. Hedgehog mushrooms. Hedgehogs get their name from the soft spines under their caps. They have a sweet, nutty flavor and fetch more than $20 per pound at specialty markets. They grow wild under conifers and appear only during cool, wet weather. A wild foods company in British Columbia buys hedgehog mushrooms from trained pickers, pays them a mid-range price, and resells the mushrooms to restaurants for a higher margin. Because hedgehogs bruise easily, they must be handled gently and delivered quickly. They're also versatile in the kitchen, staying firm when sautéed and pairing well with cream sauces or roasted meats. Number 14. Bluefoot mushrooms. Sometimes called bluet, Bluefoot mushrooms have violet stems and a subtle flavor. They're rare and tricky to cultivate, so prices can exceed $40 per pound. A few growers have mastered their cultivation on pasteurized straw and wood chips and sell them exclusively to high-end restaurants. A farmer in Quebec produces about 500 pounds of Bluefoot mushrooms per year and sells them for around $40 per pound, grossing over $20,000. The risk of contamination is high and spawn is expensive, but chefs pay for their color and delicate taste. Home cooks rarely see them, which enhances their mystique. Number 15. chestnut mushrooms. Chestnut mushrooms are cultivated cousins of wild Namako. They're bronze-colored, grow in clusters, and have a rich flavor. Chestnuts sell for about $10 to $12 per pound, more than button mushrooms, but less than wild varieties. They fruit in multiple flushes, and spent substrate becomes compost, making them an efficient addition to a mushroom operation. A Pennsylvania farm grows chestnut mushrooms alongside shiitakes and sells them to restaurants looking for something more exotic than crimini. The clusters break apart into individual mushrooms that chefs use in stir-fries, soups, and as meat substitutes. Number 16. Wild ramps. Also called wild leeks, ramps are one of the first fresh greens of spring and have a pungent garlicky flavor reminiscent of both garlic and onions. Prices range from a few dollars per pound in regions where ramps are abundant to $20 or $30 per pound in urban markets. Some sellers report $40 per pound when demand peaks. A forager in North Carolina harvests only one leaf from each plant, leaving the bulbs to grow. He sells 10-pound bundles to a farm-to-table restaurant in Manhattan for $20+ per pound and pickles part of his harvest, selling jars for around $15. Because ramp populations are sensitive to overharvest, some growers are experimenting with cultivating ramps under shade cloth and in wooded gardens, which could provide a sustainable supply for restaurants. Number 17. Fresh wasabi rhizomes. Real wasabi is different from the green paste served in most sushi restaurants. Wasabi plants need cold, running water and shade to thrive. Because they're difficult to grow, authentic rhizomes can sell for $100 to several $100 per pound. On the Oregon coast, one farm grows wasabi using hydroponic gravel beds fed by mountain spring water. They sell rhizomes to high-end sushi restaurants for about $40 per 2-ounce rhizome, which works out to roughly hundreds per pound. Plants take about 18 months to mature. The leaves and stems are also edible and provide extra income. The stems are popular in pickles and salads. Chefs grate fresh wasabi tableside to capture its fleeting pungency. The flavor dissipates within minutes. Number 18. Vanilla beans. Vanilla is the cured seed pod of a tropical orchid. Each flower must be pollinated by hand, and the pods undergo months of curing. Organic vanilla beans sell for around $8 per ounce, roughly $100 per pound, though weather events and theft can drive prices higher. Once vines mature, they produce for decades, offering long-term income. A cooperative in Hawaii grows vanilla vines under shade houses, hand-pollinates flowers and cures pods for several months. Their beans sell directly to pastry chefs at premium prices, and the co-op grossed over $100,000 from 80 pounds of beans last year. Vanilla vines require warmth and humidity. Growers in temperate zones often use greenhouses to mimic tropical conditions. Number 19. Nasturtium edible flowers. Nasturtiums produce brightly colored blossoms with a peppery flavor. Chefs buy them to garnish salads, desserts, and cocktails. Blossoms retail for about 50 cents each. Producing 1,000 flowers a week could gross $500. The plants grow quickly from seed and thrive in poor soil. A farmer in California interplants nasturtiums along trellises in their tomato greenhouse. As the vines sprawl, they produce hundreds of flowers each week, and the farmer packages blossoms in clamshells for local restaurants. Leaves and seeds are also edible, giving farmers multiple products from the same plant. Pickled green nasturtium seeds are sometimes used as a substitute for capers. Number 20. Truffles. Truffles are underground fungi that grow in symbiosis with certain trees. They're the ultimate luxury ingredient. White truffles can cost several $1,000s per pound, while black truffles often range from a few $100 to $800 per pound. Because they're hard to cultivate, most truffles are hunted in forests using trained dogs. A truffle orchard in North Carolina inoculated oak and hazelnut trees with truffle spores. and waited years before harvesting 6 pounds of black truffles that sold for $600 per pound. French and Italian foragers still supply most of the world's truffles, using specially trained dogs to locate them and sell them to dealers who then broker them to chefs. Foragers who find wild truffles can earn a windfall. For farmers, it's a high-risk, high-reward venture. Truffle growers must invest in inoculated trees, wait for the mycorrhizal partnership to develop, and hope for the right climate and soil conditions. These 20 crops show that the best farm profits often come from serving the most demanding palates. Saffron's crimson threads, ginseng roots, lavender blooms, and exotic mushrooms illustrate how scarcity and labor can turn small plots into gold. Wild foods like morels, ramps, and truffles fetch eye-popping prices because nature controls the supply. Perennials such as vanilla and ginseng take patience but produce for years. Fast-growing crops like microgreens and nasturtiums prove that even tiny spaces can deliver big returns. Farmers who succeed build relationships with chefs, learn how to grow and handle delicate products, and protect their habitats. If you're looking to earn more from less land, consider experimenting with 1 or 2 of these crops and see what your local market is hungry for. With careful planning and respect for the ecosystems you cultivate, you might discover that your next cash crop is something most people have never even heard of.